Okay, today we're going to be doing another telemedicine app. This one's called Doxy.me. Now this one, unlike Zoom, which is the one I did prior to this one, is actually designed for healthcare. Now Zoom does have a healthcare component. I didn't test that. We just use the Zoom that we're used to using in our office, and we also trained one of our practices of how to use that as well, just using the free features. And they're using it. They're pretty happy with it. But this is my first actual test on a healthcare-specific telemedicine app that does video conferencing and so on. I'm going to just start by saying super impressed. And the product is Doxy.me. You can see that kind of here in the top left. Really impressed with it. I went ahead and bought the license. I did a test. They have a free version. It's very full-featured, works really well, might be enough for your organization, and it's totally free for commercial use, which is really nice. There was a couple of features I wanted to be able to use and test thoroughly, so I went ahead and bought the $35 a month subscription. And like I said, I'm just really blown away. So we're going to step through it. So I am already logged in. What you see here is what you would actually see in if you logged in and created an account. You would create your, and there's some settings you go in, super easy setup, nothing complex about it. The most complex thing is if you want to receive payments, which I'll go into here in a little bit, you can set up Stripe. It integrates with Stripe for a merchant account to be able to take, say, co-pays or any kind of online payment that you'd need to receive. And I'll go through how that workflow would work. Okay, so here in the top right, you can see this little video. It's got the microphone on it so it can hear everything I'm saying. That's the one on my computer that I'm using right now. That is going to be there. That's not just there because I'm doing a video with picture-in-picture. That's part of the app, okay? So it's going to auto-detect your camera and want to set it up through your browser. It works with Chrome, Firefox, and I think it works with the new Edge browser. I don't think it's going to work with the old Edge browser or Internet Explorer, but I haven't tested it. I did see one error. I think it was on the old Edge. It gave me an error. So anyway, I didn't do any serious testing on it. I think I launched it. But anyway, okay. So this is your logged in. You're logged in. You've got your account. I'm still working with Dr. Potato. And if I want to invite someone to a meeting, there's several ways to do it. And so here's your options to invite someone to a meeting. You've got email. You can create a calendar item, send them a text message, website badge, and prints. Now, the prints is where you can go and basically create a document, flyers, brochures, whatever. And that's pretty slick. Oh, let's mute my cell phone. There we go. And so that's pretty slick feature there. I thought that was really clever, very well thought out. Text message is probably what I would use the most if I was wanting to have someone join a meeting really quickly, because everyone's got a cell phone, and you want them probably to use their cell phone so they can move it around, like we talked about before, be able to do pictures and video. And the cameras on modern cell phones are high resolution and work really well. So that would give them the flexibility if you're doing diagnostics during a visit for them to move it around and show you whatever they need to show you. Okay? All right. So you can do those things, and they work great. But what we have, as I've worked through this, what I think is the most fluid way to use this, I'm going to go ahead and drag this over here. And so over here on the right is my corporate website. And I just created a web page called Telemedicine. This is not visible. I don't have any links on my website to it. It's just a landing page for an example. So what you can do is Doxy.me gives you a landing page that you can use to add these things pre-made. So it's just a little bit of JavaScript code that makes that display. And it'll tell people if you're logged in, available to be able to take meetings or not. Here's the way I see this happening. Most of our practices have an automated solution for sending out patient reminders through schedules, so on. I would tell in my patient reminders, if you can edit the template, which you probably can, I would put a link to the telemedicine page on your website. And I would say for a telemedicine appointment, something like for your next appointment, we're currently doing telemedicine due to COVID-19. If you'd like to continue with this appointment, please go to this website, the one I've got here at the top that's highlighted, at your appointed time, and it'll say whatever your appointment is more than likely, and they would go there. So when they go there, they're going to enter the waiting room. So they click here, and they're going to put in who they are. So in this case, we'll call it Steve Patient, and I've got a password on here. It's just password, and then they can check in. I don't need to save that. So they're checking in. Now, if you look over here on the left, you can see that someone's now in the patient queue. And you can have multiple patients in this queue. Fantastic, because you can bounce between patients just like you do in real life. You can go from talking to a patient or having your staff member talk to the patient to the next patient and on and on and on. Think of it like your nurse when she goes into a room to talk to the patient before you go before the physician goes in to visit with them. The nurse can do the same thing. And the best way to do that is not to start the video, it's just to start a chat. And so you'll see, hello, this is Becky, Dr. Potato. Actually, I'm going to stick with my old names. This is Nurse Radish. How are you feeling today? Whatever you might say. And you can see on the right, and now keep in mind, this is the exact same way it looks on a smartphone. You don't see any difference in this app. There's nothing to install. It just works. It uses the browser for all the video and communications and so on. And so the patient might respond with, I'm not feeling great. How are you? And you have a little back and forth, okay? So you have your little back and forth, and then the nurse may say, is your address still, and then she can copy from the EMR and paste into here, whatever the address is, and then they get to respond and just gathers that information like you normally would before meeting with a doctor, the pre-screening, okay? So that's all in here. So the doctor shows up, and he's got the app. Now he's using the smartphone app, so he may just go into the app on the phone and launch straight into the meeting, or he may have this logged in on his computer. What he'll do is he'll click Start Call if he's ready to call. But let me back up just a little bit. Receiving payment. That's one of the really cool features I was asked about by some doctors that we support, and this has a integration with Stripe, which is a merchant account, and we set this up with ours. So when you want to receive payment, you can do it at any time. Of course, you probably want to receive payment before you do healthcare versus after, especially when doing telemedicine. So you would go payment. So I want to receive payment. So how much is my copay? So copay, let's say it's $65, and you click charge. So if you look over on the right, this is the patient. They're going to see this on their smartphone, their computer, whatever device they're using for telemedicine. And so they're going to put in their credit card number, expiration date, CVC code, and click pay now. If they don't, let's say they decide they don't want to do that. They just want to see you. Well, if you look on the left, they canceled it. The payment request is canceled by the other person. And you could then say, the nurse could do this, we can not see you without payment. And you go back and forth again. So you can have a little of this. Hopefully this won't happen, or at least not very often. So let's assume that they made payment. So now they've made payment. The doctor can see them. And so the doctor starts the call. Now this is on the same computer, and so you're going to see the same video, but on the right would be the patient, and on the left would be the doctor. The doctor can see the patient can see the doctor, and you can have communication. So the doctor's talking to the patient, and the doctor says, hold the camera up to your neck. I need to see that tumor, whatever it might be. So the doctor's watching, and he says, okay, I'm going to get a screenshot of that. So hit screenshot. Oops, sorry, I think I hit the wrong one. Screen share. I need to do photo capture. So captured that photo. Doctor can download it, print it, save it to the chart, whatever he needs to do. So he's taking pictures, he's documenting it, and things are going good. Doctor says, well, let's say that this is a really grainy picture. Doctor can actually change from low definition to high, depending on the quality of the camera both you have and the doctor has can determine this, okay? So you can raise the quality. We tend to think low definition is better. It doesn't use as much bandwidth. You're not going to have as much skipping or delay, okay? So the doctor says, okay, well, or the patient says, I've got these documents that I need to give to you. How do I get those to you? Okay, the doctor says, well, let's request it from you. So take a picture of it with your phone and go ahead and we'll upload it. The nurse could be doing this as well. Or it could happen after the appointment. Doctor could go, okay, I've seen you. I know what I need to do. I'm going to hand you off to the nurse. She's going to gather all that information and we'll go from there. Great. Okay. Well, let's see. Where was it? I got to remember where it's at. There is a way. I don't want to end call. I want to pause. There it is. So we're going to pause the call. Patient's still in the waiting. You can see that you saw the patient for just going on 5 minutes. They're back in the waiting queue, and now the doctor can go on to the next patient that's already been prepped and ready for the next appointment. The nurse hops back in. Doctor says, "Hey, go talk to Steve patient. I need to get these documents from him," and so on. So nurse hops in. She can do a video or she can chat. So she's ready to chat. You've got the old history back. I'm going to send you an upload link. Please take a picture of the documents and upload. Okay. Patient gets their camera out, takes a picture on their phone, chooses the upload link. Patient clicked away from the thing, comes back, the link's gone, and the patient says, "I don't have the upload link anymore. Can you resend?" Okay, of course. All right, so we're going to resend that to the patient. So we go back up here, and we're going to go to More, File Transfer, Request File from Patient. Patient going to get this pop up on their phone, select File to Share, and it's going to go find all the files on their phone that they can share. So they can go navigate to find that. If they can't find it, you can't really help them much. You can kind of talk them through it, look at your own phone navigation system, whatever, try to figure it out. And over time, you'll learn how to help people troubleshoot this. But if you can't do that, then you might just have them fax it or email it into you, or another method of doing that. Okay. That is the basics in a nutshell of how this works. You fill your patient queue based on your existing scheduling. We'd recommend adding this information for accessing the telemedicine to your notification system that goes to your patients. If not, you might just have your staff call all the patients, tell them how to get there, and ask them maybe for an email or something they can send it, or a text message, and then say, "Hey, we're just going to text you how to get in there with the time," and that you could have a staff member that just sits here all day long sending out invites. Pretty slick. Very impressed with it myself. I think it's one of it's the best product I've seen for this so far. And I think it's going to go over really well with patients that really need to see a doctor, but can't go in to see a doctor or can't take any risk. And the doctors don't want to take any risk as well. That's all I've got on this. If you guys have any questions or need assistance getting this set up, feel free to reach out to me. My name is Brian Largent. I'm with the ArcLight Group. My number is 918-270-6600. We are here to help you guys in any way we can. We do have to bill for our time if we do technical work. If you just have some questions about basic setup or would like me to add something to the video or answer questions, be more than happy to do that. Again, my name is Brian Largent with the ArcLight Group. Have a great rest of your week. Thanks.